Hey, this is Catt from Blacktop Mojo, and you're listening to Curtis on the Hell Yeah Talk Show.
Can I get a hell yeah? That's right, baby. We are Hell Yeah Talk Show, and we're talking today with Mr. Matt Curtis, who goes by Catt Murtis, and he's the bass player in the band Blacktop Mojo. And these guys are blowing the hell up. And they're selling out shows when they were playing before the corona vid shit hit. But definitely check them out on blacktopmojo.com and also on Facebook, Blacktop Mojo. Check them out. They have a brand new EP coming out here very shortly, and they're going to be releasing the songs one a week for the next 3 weeks. They actually released one last week on Friday. So definitely get ready to check that out. Check them out every Thursday for the porch sessions. Catt and Matt are also doing, they're playing out on the porch during the corona thing, playing songs, taking, a request and all that good stuff. And they are phenomenal. So definitely check them out. And without any further ado, here's me and Catt on Hell Yeah Talk Radio. Real quick, I need to let everyone know I had technical difficulties on the first probably 10 minutes or so of the interview, so this is just going to go right into me and Catt talking. And anyway, if I can retrieve that, I will release it later, but, just had some bad mojo going on, but talking with these guys is killer mojo, so check it out.
We're looking forward to, in the fall, going out with Hendra and them, because they did reschedule that tour, thankfully. Mm-hmm. They were able to do all that, and it's just going to be great, man. Like, I'm really feeling like once we get out of this quarantine, there's just going to be a nice turn of everything. Everything's going to turn back around for the better, and come back stronger.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing this quarantine's really taught everybody is, like, the things that we took for granted, And people, when they are able to go out and about again, I feel like they're really going to,
appreciate it more.
Just appreciate it more. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And depending on, and I tell this to people all the time, especially younger bands, they go, oh, I want to be on the radio and this and that and the other. Well, I mean, it costs money. I'm sorry,
Yep.
And, and a lot of bands take bands out on the road, but it costs money there too. Some charge them, mm-hmm. Some don't. And to me, my investment would be better well spent. I think the investment would be better to pay to go on the road with a band, even if it's just 2 weeks, because you will be seen every show. Your song goes out to the radio doesn't mean that DJ is going to play it.
Yeah.
you know.
And it also doesn't mean that they're going to spin your song in the time slot where everybody's actually listening to the radio.
Yeah, no shit.
They're going to probably play you at midnight or 3 a.m. or
exactly,
stuff like that. And you'll get spins. Yeah, you'll get spins and you'll climb the charts, but it doesn't necessarily mean that people heard you.
Right, exactly. But I think your money is better well spent if you use it to be seen rather than be heard, if that makes sense.
Right. 100%.
And when you get to a certain point, then but most people don't have the money for that shit, and unless you got a real good company backing you, and you start seeing like you said, fruits of your labor for it. But that's, I don't know, such a damn hard business.
Oh yeah, man, it's pretty crooked,
Oh yeah. So, but let's see here. Now, I know you're the bass player. I have to say, Blacktop Mojo is one of the most energetic bands I've seen live.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you, brother. We appreciate the kind words.
Oh yeah. Well, dude, y'all,
we love what we do, man.
Was it Kiefer? What's his? I can't remember his first name.
Yeah, Ryan. Kiefer.
Okay.
We all just call him Kiefer.
Kiefer. Okay. All right. So, he's doing his thing, and Chuck's doing his thing, which Chuck moves around a lot more than Kiefer does. But I can see that. Playing guitar is a little bit more, but you and Matt fucking put on a show like insane. And,
yeah, man. We like to boot boogie, man. I mean, I don't know what to say.
Exactly. So I love it, and it's that Texas thing, man. I don't know what it is. It's just something about Texas bands. They got a lot of energy, most of them that I've seen. Man. So, but you play bass, but then also you play guitar, and you play the guitar fucking damn good.
Oh, well, thanks, man.
Why the hell did you go to bass? Or what? Well, how did you start?
When I first joined the band, I was actually originally playing guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Our original guitar player, K.I., moved to Nashville, and Nathan had called me and asked me if I could come fill in, and it became a permanent thing. And about a year later, K.I. ended up moving back, so we asked him to come back on the guitar, and it was just the most logical thing and what was best for the band for me to move over to bass. And I enjoyed the challenge of getting my right hand to work as well as my left as far as my finger dexterity going.
Right.
And also it was like I was viewing music from a different perspective as well. So there was also, it was just fun for me, like moving over to bass. And honestly, I really enjoy doing it. I did, being a guitar player at heart, I didn't think I was going to take to it as much, but it ended up just falling in love with it as its own entity, as its own thing. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I still love playing guitar, and there's other instruments I'm trying to get myself to spend time on learning how to do, but I've just been a little busy lately.
You do it every Thursday, so that's good. But I mean, you did the video In the Air. You play guitar on that, and
right. Yeah, that was a spontaneous thing. Like that whole video is hilarious to me how it just took off on its own, because we were literally just hanging out, and that guitar happened to be in the van. Like, we didn't even put it in there. It's been in there 2 weeks with old strings, and we were just drinking and having a good time. And Matt was like, "Dude, you got to check out the reverb in this one room." And so we went back there, just continuing to have our good time with our buddies that were hanging with us. And Matt was like, "Did you ever learn that In the Air in that song?" I'm like, "No." But do we have a guitar? I'll figure it out real quick. And if you watch the YouTube video, like, Kiefer pulled out his phone and just started filming, and you can literally hear me like figuring out the chords I was going to use for what we were doing. And what you heard on the spot was literally the first time we did it.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
It's
And I
But
love
it's the things like that people like, man, because it's raw in the moment and it's real, and there's no
exactly
gimmicks or planned or plot or whatever. It's just real, like people just doing what music is, which is fun. They're just having fun, hanging out with us, man.
That's what it's supposed to be about,
Right.
But the cool thing about, well, the whole thing's cool, but the fucking coolest part about that is where the guy reaches over and beats on the wall with something, where that drum part comes.
Our buddy Asa. Yeah. No, Asa found this old pipe sitting there.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of like big rocks, like kind of like down there, and he just started beating on those things. And like nobody was expecting it, because like nobody was paying attention. He just kind of like snuck over there and did it. That's why like you keep your jerk camera over and all that. So it was awesome. Though we were really glad that that whole thing just turned out like it did. It was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, and it grabbed a lot of people's attention when people started sharing it and spreading it around and all that kind of stuff, which is just awesome. But I'm glad you told that story, because I thought it was something planned, so that's amazing.
No, not at all. That's why to me it's funny. I mean, but that's that's God's sense of humor for you. Just the thing you least expect, just the thing that turns out to be something wild.
Right, exactly. And y'all have done other cover tunes and stuff, like Dream On.
Right.
Yeah. And gosh, I think a Fuel song. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, Hemorrhage.
Okay.
And then we did In Color before that. And the reason why we were doing all that stuff was like we were in the middle of writing songs for Burn the Ships, and it was just like we were in a really big transitional period in that point in time. So it's like, well, we have like people that follow us. We need to put out something, to just keep that going for them. So we started doing those cover videos. That's how that all started. And then we released, of course, Burn the Ships, and we started. We put Dream On Burn the Ships because it had already kind of taken off. Like it had already been out like a year by the time we.
That's cool.
Finished Burn the Ships, so we're just like, oh, let's sit on there anyway.
Well, yeah, that's another way to stay relevant, especially when you're in the process of writing, an album, and recording an album, is to do something like that. That way,
right?
You're giving people something, even though it's not original,
they're familiar with.
But yeah, exactly. And that gets them more familiar with you. So that's very cool.
Well, yeah.
Let's see. What did I write down? Oh, okay. So now, what are your biggest influences, or who's your biggest influence?
Well, I mean, it kind of, when I first started playing music, like I got really heavy into classic rock. Like, so I was digging on Zeppelin, AC/DC, Skinner, the Eagles, like a bunch of different stuff like that. And before that, though, before I even started playing music, like I was listening to like freaking Linkin Park. I even remember having the Silver Side Up albums at Nickelback. And I was listening to.
That was the one with Animal
I
that
discovered
started off.
Slipknot at that point.
Oh,
I
okay.
think, because my older brother had the Subliminal versus Volume 3 album. Like, that's how I discovered a lot of my music back then, was either through my childhood best friend or my older brother. So I discovered like a bunch of more modern bands at that point in time through that. But then when I started actually playing guitar, my dad's like, "Here, you need to be learning how to play some good rock and roll shit." So here,
exactly.
he hands me a Foreigner greatest hits. I started like listening to that stuff, and I actually remember getting my, just speaking of Dream On, my Aerosmith's greatest hits CD. I remember exactly what it looked like, and I remember wearing that thing out. Just like it was predominantly a lot of the great classic rock legends, in Boston and Journey, all that stuff, man. When I was a teenager, and then like in my late years of high school, like senior year and going into college, a friend of mine showed me Alice in Chains, and the reason why was because like I kind of favored Lane Staley, and I'm like, well, who's that? So I looked up Alice in Chains, and like the first song I played was "We Die Young," because I just started the Facelift album and just was gonna like listen to the whole thing, and like from the first riff, that I just got like a chill down my spine and my jaw dropped, and I was like, oh man, this is stuff.
Yeah.
So like predominantly, I would say my favorite bands are like Alice in Chains and Soundgarden and Stone Temple Pilots and even like Incubus and stuff like that. That's the stuff that like I just don't get tired of. Blind Melon, even like you brought up Blind Melon, like when I discovered them, man, like it was just like I'm like blown away, and like even bands like Candlebox, those guys, I worked the hell out of that first album in high school, and their latest album, just hearing at the airport, man, it's freaking phenomenal as well. So there's just a bunch of different. It's a mixture of things these days, especially as I'm getting older. Like I'm just always going back and listening to bands that I never really like dove into, and like I got into Rush last year, had a good little phase listening to them. You know, freaking love.
Well, if you listen to early Rush,
dude,
like that shit sounds like Zeppelin. You know, they sound a lot like Zeppelin. I'm like, holy shit, that's cool.
I mean, but to me, like they still had their own distinction, because I mean they were still a three-piece, and it's kind of mind-blowing. All the things that they do.
Exactly. You know, and the same thing with Blind Melon, dude. That whole band is just phenomenal musicians. You know,
they
are
absolutely
just killer band. Go ahead.
One of my favorite songs, I think, is "I Wonder." You know, off of that first album.
Oh yeah,
it starts off with that little. It's got that like folky intro, and then it goes into that guitar riff that's just really cool, like and like I love it. Their dynamics are killer. I'm sorry if I interrupted you.
Oh no. You know, one of my favorite songs by them is the one, "Mouthful of Cavities." You know the song I'm talking about got the Allison chick, I forget what her name is. Anyway, singing along, you know, singing with him. They did that down in New Orleans. I want to say that might have been on the Galaxy album,
wow.
Or the album that had Galaxy on it. I can't remember. But I actually love a lot of their shit. So all of it. But what about Skinned?
I'll have to go re-listen to that.
What about Skinned? Have you? I'm sure you've heard that one.
I was more familiar with like their first album, but Toes Across the Floor was one that I really liked.
Toes. Oh God, yeah. The video's hilarious too. So.
I'd never seen the video before, so like I was listening to that album, and I was like, oh, this song's got a video to it, because like it really stuck out to me, and I went and watched the video, and I'm like, whoa, dude. Well, this is them. This is Blind Melon. Sure.
Exactly. So. But no, that Skin song is starts off with a kazoo playing, and then it goes into jamming, and it's a song that he wrote about serial killers, and
that's awesome.
It is fucking it is way out there. So I used to have that as my ringtone on my phone, and people were like, "What the hell?" But anyway, so well, that's cool, man. Now, who do you contribute your guitar playing to? I mean, any certain one?
Well, I mean, I could just like go back to the ones that I named, like, of course, but like I really like anything like I was listening to back then, like especially when I was learning guitar. I was trying to always find something I liked about it and kind of take something and apply it to my own style of playing, and you know, I can't just attribute one particular person, because like there was people like I even played with that were like older than me and like more experienced musicians that I can attribute, you know, credit to, with like them helping me along the way and teaching me things, and but yeah, I guess like one person though in particular was my teacher I had when I was because like how I started playing guitar like seriously was I broke my leg in 3 places skateboarding.
Mm-hmm. Oh goodness!
And so I picked up the guitar like while I couldn't go anywhere, so I had to put all my attention into that, and I just fell in love with it. And my dad he handed me this learner's DVD, and he's like, if you learn this entire DVD, then I'll pay for your guitar lesson. So I did. Like I spent like a couple of weeks like powering through that DVD every day, like just learning everything I possibly could. Got it to where my dad was, happy with my progress. And then he was like, all right, well, I told you I would. So my teacher, Scott Todd, he was teaching lessons at this local shop in the Shoals called Sound Shop. And he just really, like, saw what I needed in the moment as a teacher, and like he just knew exactly like what he needed to teach me and like where I was at. He was just a very good he could read well and like know what the student needed at that point in time, like where they were at as a guitar player, and he just taught me all the modes and scales, and he started teaching me a little theory in it, and like I still like I soaked it all in, but like it was really when I started playing live, and I played in a lot of worship bands, like growing up in church and stuff too. So it's like the application of what he taught me is what really made it settle in, and like just playing with different musicians and playing different songs is really what helped me do that.
Yeah, that's cool.
But he would definitely be like one of the top for sure.
Okay,
I can contribute that too.
That's awesome, man. Because a lot of people don't do that. I'm a '80s guy, of course, teenager in the '80s, born in '70. So, God, I'll be 50 this year. That's crazy. But
I'll be 30 in a couple months. So.
Oh, good God, yeah. So you're a little bit behind me.
90, baby.
That's right. So. Tour, I looked online and I saw y'all are going to be going, I think it's Hinder. Is that still going to happen? As far as you know?
If this whole Corona thing hadn't happened, we would be currently on the road with them. Right now. Mm-hmm. But they, of course, a lot of tours and shows and live music things and events got either canceled completely or postponed till later, and we were fortunate, that we were able to move all the dates into the fall and still go out to some of the same places. Unfortunately, some of the places we were going to go to we weren't able to.
Didn't work.
Pull off getting back into the rescheduling, but eventually we'll make our way back around there. I'm sure at some point, whether it's with Hinder or ourselves. So.
Okay. Very cool. Y'all need to get over to Louisiana, New Orleans, Mississippi area and do something.
For sure.
Well, I mean, that's where I'm from, so still got a lot of people down there. So, man, I've been promoting the shit out of y'all on Facebook, everything I can, and I used to do a radio show with Rock Rage Radio, and I've been playing y'all forever. But I had a thing happen to me in December, and I just kind of let my podcast go to the side and radio to the side, and I don't really want to do internet radio anymore because it's internet. I don't know how many people really are listening. I'd rather do
absolutely.
I'd rather do a radio show on real radio, but then again, I can't play what I want, so it's kind of a catch-22. So.
Right.
But definitely want to hear y'all on the radio, man. I mean, I've heard y'all a couple of times, but it's like, and it was during the day, but it's so few and far between. And I think it needs to be, one thing I want to get to is Under the Sun. The whole album is worth listening to. There's not a filler in there for me. I listen to it from front to back. But I will emphasize that Come Get Your Coat. Oh my God. That song right there. Now the first single came off of that was
Can't Sleep.
What was it?
Can't Sleep.
Yes, Can't Sleep. That's the one where chick with the shovel and blah 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 and all that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I love that song.
She makes them think it's good.
Now that song's one of my favorites on the album. Come Get Your Coat is probably my favorite. But dude, that song, and I even told my wife, and she looked at me like I was crazy. I said, this song is epic. I said, the way it's laid out, the way the leads are played here and there. I said, it's tasteful, it's melodic, it's heavy when it needs to be, and it goes into these, not soft, but just, lull parts, and then the lead comes in again and stuff. It's just how it was arranged. I mean, I hear it. I rank it up there with a Sweet Home Alabama type anthem song, and that's just me,
Well, thank you, brother. I really appreciate that.
I mean, it is.
That was the last one we finished, actually.
Really?
Okay, here's what's funny is it started in the carport where we do the live streams, right? It was I was just playing around on that opening riff on acoustic, and I can't remember whether Matt had been, but him and Kiefer or somebody came back, and I was just jamming around on that riff, and then Matt sat down, and he had already had something kind of come to his head, and then I shifted to that chord that goes into the chorus, and Matt just started saying, "Come get your coat, you left it outside," and it just kind of fell into place, and we had the chorus of that song for a year.
Oh, okay.
And then we started writing for the to record the album and stuff, and we started jamming it out as a band together. We just it just kind of developed into this one thing, but we didn't actually finish the latter part of it, the instrumental section where it kind of breaks down, and that we actually did the last thing in the studio, I believe, and Nathan just was here, I have this idea, let's try this. And we just went into it, and that's how we ended up finishing out the song. But we finished it out that it was the last one that we completed, but when we were done with the Under the Sun recording cycle.
Well, I tell you what, that ending just made it even more epic, and I think that's what actually makes it epic. Is it becomes it's a monster. It's a guitar
battle symphony with
exactly
with groovy, chunky rhythm behind it.
Yeah, exactly. And the video is fucking awesome too. Love the damn video. Very cool.
We had a lot of fun making that.
I bet.
Too, man. It was we honestly didn't know how it was gonna go, because it's all we had was all this cluster of random ideas, and then we somehow within the last couple of days before we shot it, compiled it all to Matt, Dustin, and we just kind of compiled it all together, man. And it just I'm really glad Matt handled that, because it was I was kind of man, I don't know where we're going with this, but it's gonna be a good time. And so Matt kind of structured this.
Very cool.
It took all of our ideas, that was just this cluster of ideas, and then somehow made it into what you see. And then Dustin, of course, he's a fantastic video guy, and edited it really well. Also, I'll give him a little credit. He's a piece of crap, but I'll give him a little credit right there.
Well, my third favorite on that one is "It Won't Last," because I hear the blues influence in all your songs, but that one, of course, is a blues song.
Man.
And dude, that is phenomenal. And I got to tell you, my daughter is 11. She just turned 11 last month, and I've had that CD. I bought it at y'all's show here. In Cincinnati or Newport, Kentucky, whenever that was. Anyway, I've had it about probably 6-8 months, 9, whatever it is. And it has been in my truck ever since the day I bought it. That night I put it in, and I have not taken it out. And she won't let me. Her favorites are number 3, which is, I think it's number 3.
Coat.
Yeah, right. And then number 4, which I can never remember the names of songs. I suck at it. Okay, and then 5, which is It Won't Last. And then 6, and then 7.
3, 4, and 5.
Oh no, 3, 4, 5, 6,
3, 4,
7.
5, 6, 7.
And 7 is
Wow.
sleep. Can't sleep. So
Right.
everything, and when it gets through a 7, she hits the button until it goes back to 3. And I'm like, damn, girl. So yeah, you got young fans out there. So
Yeah, man. The generations of the growing Mojo Nation is pretty like awesome. Like it's like everybody just comes together. It doesn't matter like what age group it is. Like it's pretty cool to see, man. Like 'cause you get to see like not only like mothers and fathers getting to go with their sons and daughters, but also you get to see like grandparents taking their grandchildren to shows and stuff like that sometimes also, and that's just it reaches that far.
Well, we had about 10 people come to that show in Tennessee, and you gained 10 new fans that night too. So along with the rest of my band, so so hell yeah. So that killer. So and I wish y'all the best, man, because like I say, y'all are right now my favorite band. Just the energy, the songs, everything, and I hope everybody, and I see it happening, but I just hope the rest of America and the world catches on.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard. So I've been doing this shit since I was 15, and I still suck at it, or I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
I
mean, people are gonna like what they like. And,
exactly.
Exactly. And we're still gonna be here because like this is what we love doing. And whether you catch on now or later, you'll catch on eventually.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, cool, man. Well, I'll tell you what. I give now that I'm doing this new show like this, I want everybody to give me your best hell yeah.
Gotcha.
So what you
All
got?
Right. So are we doing it together or are we
Oh no, you do it yourself.
Okay, just do it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You from Alabama, boy?
You can do both. You can just put them both together at the same time. Like,
there you go.
That'll be like both aspects of my personality all at once.
There you go. That's it. Well, man, I appreciate the hell out of it. And
dude, yeah. Thank you for having me, man.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely get this out beforehand. And I'll talk about the y'all releasing. Hell, you said today's the first song, right? Coming off the EP.
Yeah, today's the first one. There's going to be 3 more leading up, and one of them is well, I say it's just acoustic, but it's real. We had fun with it toward the end.
Okay. All right. Well, very cool, man. Well, let's see. July, I think it is when y'all's first shows start coming back.
Yeah. Well, we got one in June at a local mud park that we play here, like at least once or twice a year.
Okay.
And yeah, we're gonna we'll be playing there June 13th. So it'll be my birthday weekend. So that'll be good.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, not 2 months. Hell, you only got a month to your birthday, so not long.
Yeah, absolutely.
So hell, mine's May 19th, so I only got like 11 days left or something like that. I can't remember.
Oh,
so yeah. Well, happy early birthday to you.
If I don't tell you, yeah, happy early birthday to you.
I appreciate it.
I'm not good at remembering those things.
Oh yeah, no shit. I definitely get it.
I appreciate you having me on, man, and I will be talking to you soon.
Oh yeah, thanks. Y'all have a good one.
All right, man. You have a good one too, brother.
All right, man. Bye. Well, there you go. Good talks with Catt Murtis on Hell Yeah Talk Radio. And you can check us out still at blevinsnation.com and on Facebook, and check out blacktopmojo.com and check them out on the Facebook and the Twitter and Instagram and all of your social media needs. Same thing goes with Hell Yeah Talk Radio. And remember, kids, wherever you go, there you are.